Today, we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at Japan's busiest airport, Haneda. We're going behind closed doors to show you how everything works.
Calling standby flight attendants.
From the 8,000 flight attendants working inside the main headquarters, to how your luggage gets delivered to the correct destination without any mistakes, and even the front line of professionals that make sure you get where you're going safely and on time. Let's go! Haneda Airport is Japan's busiest airport with more than 70 million passengers going through it every year. Daily, more than 1,100 passenger flights use one of its 3 terminals. Supporting that safe and secure travel of those passengers is the people called flight attendants, or cabin attendants as they are called in Japan. It is said that all Nippon Airways, which has approximately 8,000 cabin attendants, has a department that manages all of their schedules, commonly known as the headquarters. We were given exclusive access to this staff-only area, which takes up the entire floor of a building attached to the airport. This is Ms. Akiyama, a cabin attendant who has been with ANA for 8 years and has qualifications as a chief purser.
Good morning.
This area here is where cabin attendants conduct various meetings before they go on duty. In the back is the department called Cabin Daily, which centrally manages the work of 8,000 cabin attendants. The staff here is monitoring the real-time status of all ANA planes, starting with those that are currently in mid-flight.
The ones that are in green represent planes that have finished their current flights. The ones here in blue are planes that are currently in flight. Lastly, the ones that aren't colored yet are upcoming flights.
The staff here are monitoring the constantly updating information, analyzing it, and then adjusting the schedules of ANA's cabin attendants. We joined back up with Ms. Akiyama, who has finished reporting for duty. You'd think she'd be going to meetings with the crew of a departing flight, but she's heading to a different room and taking a seat alone at a table. It seems a bit relaxed from an outsider's perspective. There's no sign of hurried preparations. What is she up to?
I am on standby duty. I will fill in if there are any cabin crew shortages on flights today.
As she just mentioned, Miss Akiyama is on standby duty. The standby crew here are ready to fill in when there are staff shortages or when there are changes to departing flights. In the case of ANA, about 100 people on average, including those waiting at home, are on standby duty for Haneda Airport daily. Sometimes some of the crew will finish their shift without being called to duty, but if you are called,
I have no idea whether it'll be a domestic or an international flight, or if it'll be a 1-night or 2-night stay.
the standby crew can be assigned to not only domestic flights, but international flights as well. The managing of the standby crew is handled by the daily operations staff that we showed earlier. It seems that something has happened, so the staff are rushing around. It looks like they'll need to make some scheduling adjustments with cabin attendants.
Wakkanai Airport. Flight number 574 cannot take off due to bad weather.
It seems like flight number 574 from Wakkanai to Haneda is significantly delayed.
Crew to standby. Numbers 273 and 260.
The crew working on flight 574 consists of 7 cabin attendants. After arriving at Haneda, they were scheduled work on a flight departing for Fukuoka. However, since flight 574 was delayed by the weather, all 7 cabin attendants on the flight won't be able to work on the flight to Fukuoka. When things like this happen, the operations staff spring into action.
Could you call to duty some cabin attendants that are on standby?
Yes, right away.
The staff quickly sprung into action to call staff to duty.
We are calling standby cabin attendants. We will call 7 people.
The 7 cabin attendants that were called from standby rushed to the operations room and began preparations to board the flight to Fukuoka, which was scheduled to depart in 2 hours. But that wasn't all.
There's a cabin attendant who isn't feeling well.
It looks like a replacement cabin attendant is needed for an international flight to Honolulu and for a domestic flight to Nagasaki.
Attention! We are calling a cabin attendant. Ms. Akiyama, you're being called for duty. Please proceed to the daily operations counter.
It looks like Ms. Akiyama was called.
I've been called for duty, so I'm going to head out.
At this point, she still doesn't know which flight or where she'll be going. Will it be to Honolulu, or will it be Nagasaki? And the destination is?
I will be going to Nagasaki. I'll be staying there for 1 night.
The cabin attendants will be on standby duty about 1 out of every 3 shifts they are scheduled to work. It's just after 5 in the morning at Terminal 2.
We will now begin the check-in process for departing flights.
Check-in for flights departing between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. has started. There are 17 departures scheduled, flying to 13 different locations nationwide. From Obihiro in the north to Naha in the south.
So that's 1 checked bag for Miyazaki.
The checked baggage, whether it's for a flight to Miyazaki or Obihiro, is placed on the same conveyor belt and taken behind the counter. How does all of the checked baggage, which is all going to different destinations, get loaded onto the correct plane without any mistakes? The secret to it is this special sorting area. Some of the baggage goes straight through this junction point, yet other bags are pulled off this main conveyor into different junctions. The thing that determines which path each bag takes is the special barcode on the baggage tag that's attached when it's being checked in. It contains all the information about which plane the bag needs to be loaded onto. When a bag enters into the sorting area, special cameras instantly read the barcode on the tag and sort it according to the destination. It doesn't matter which direction the baggage tags are facing, one of the 6 cameras set in this area can read the barcode and make sure the bags are sorted properly. The sorted baggage is then loaded into containers for each plane by expert handlers. A final check to make sure that the destination and barcode information match is done by the handlers here.
The number of bags is shared on the computer here, so we load up the containers with the baggage until they need to be loaded onto the plane.
Once every container has been checked to make sure that all the baggage has been loaded onto them and confirmed, they are then passed on to the next set of professionals. The containers are taken over by professionals who support the landing and takeoff of airplanes on the ground, also known as the ground handling crew. The tasks they handle are varied and include loading and unloading cargo, inspecting the aircraft before takeoff and after landing, refueling the planes, and much more. At ANA, 400 ground handling crew work hard every single day. Among them, there was a woman who admired the job and made it her goal to work here. She is Harada Kaho. She's been with ANA for 5 years. How did she hear about this job?
I often traveled to Okinawa with my family when I was younger, and seeing people waving from the window during those trips left me with a strong admiration, thinking that they were really cool. Later, I learned about the job of ground handling and have aimed for it ever since I was a university student.
Since joining the company, she's gained experience and now is entrusted to be a team leader. Her next mission is to take this arriving passenger plane and prepare it for a departing flight within 60 minutes. Both safety and speed are required for this job. Ms. Harada first thoroughly inspects the aircraft, the engines, and the tires to check for any concerning damage. and for any fallen or missing objects like bolts. While doing her inspections, she also checks the work reports from each section as they are received. Out of all of the preparations, unloading and reloading of cargo takes considerable time. She collaborates with the team and makes sure the work proceeds with safety as the top priority. Once all the cargo is unloaded, they immediately begin loading new cargo to make sure the plane will depart on time.
The baggage and cargo we load onto our flights have customers waiting for them at their destinations, so we strive to make sure that each and every flight departs on time.
The aircraft that arrived 1 hour ago is now ready for departure thanks to the ground handling crew. The final part of the turnaround preparations is what originally motivated Ms. Harada to pursue this career, the departure send-off. Thanks to the hard and tireless work of these mostly unseen professionals, these passenger planes can safely and securely take off and head to their destinations. Haneda Airport is used by many foreign travelers that visit Japan. One thing that you can't forget to pick up on your travels is souvenirs. Let's see what kind of things caught the eyes of these travelers. This person from Mexico is visiting Japan for the first time. What did he pick up?
This is what I buy from here. I have a few things for my son.
For his son, he got a figure from a popular anime series. What about for his mother?
And I got some candies.
This classic souvenir treat called Tokyo Banana. The reason for choosing it was because it was a limited edition from Haneda Airport, and also because it had the name Tokyo on it. This traveler from Malaysia is visiting Japan for the third time. What did she pick up? It looks like semi-sweet matcha-flavored chocolate and
This ramen.
instant ramen noodles.
Taste it. It's really nice, so that's why I bought it again and again.
The airport is the last chance for travelers to get souvenirs from Japan, so everyone is searching seriously. The popularity of some souvenir products among foreign tourists can come and go over time, but there are some mainstay favorites. Over the last 10 years, there have been some best-selling souvenirs that have continuously captivated and targeted the hearts of visitors from overseas. This woman here is exactly what you call a bulk buyer. Out of all the products at this store, many foreign tourists were picking this up.
Ale, the Ghana bitter, and the milk chocolate.
Oh, yeah, I see.
3 times.
3 kinds.
The best-selling product is undoubtedly Royce Nama chocolate.
It seems that Hokkaido's famous confection, Royce Nama chocolate, is popular among visitors from overseas. This chocolate-based treat melts in your mouth with a subtle sweetness. The seasonal limited edition flavors are said to be especially popular. There are no borders when it comes to delicious treats. Let's head back to the baggage sorting area and check in with the staff. For some reason, the baggage handlers have stopped working. Just then,
671. 671 has a quantity correction. Please call baggage control.
an announcement from the person in charge of baggage urgently requested that they be called. The baggage handler quickly picks up the phone to call. I wonder what happened. Let's go see what the commotion is all about. With special permission, we went inside the baggage management room, which is located at the back of the sorting area. At the very back, there is a woman staring intently at a series of monitors.
If you can send one more person now, I would appreciate it.
I'll check if we can.
This is Kanda Kumiko, the chief manager in charge of handling customer baggage, who just requested additional staff for the sorting area. Why did she need to call for additional staff?
For Flight 987 to Chitose, it looks like a customer might not have passed the security checkpoint before their gate closed. So unfortunately, they will miss their flight.
Passenger A checked in for their flight to Chitose and checked a bag. However, while their departure time is approaching, they still haven't shown up at the security checkpoint. Since they won't be able to board their flight, if the staff doesn't act quickly, the checked baggage will end up going to Chitose without them. The baggage handlers need to quickly find and unload Passenger A's baggage from the container. The staff promptly went through the manifests for the containers, and Ms. Kanda shared the necessary information with all departments.
Regarding Flight 987, we have one piece of baggage that needs to be removed. It will be unloaded in the sorting area.
Yes, understood.
In the sorting area, each tag and barcode of the loaded baggage in the determined container is checked one by the baggage handlers to find Passenger A's bag. 3 minutes later, the handlers successfully located Passenger A's bag and unloaded it before sending the container to ground handling. And with that, Flight 987 took off on schedule for Chitose. Haneda Airport is Japan's busiest airport and one of the busiest in the world. Thanks to the many professionals working behind the scenes, passengers are able to get where they are going safely, securely, and on time.